In today's video, I'm going to be carrying on with Scott's Addiction, a Diary of Recovery vlogs. And if this is the first of Scott's Addiction, a Diary of Recovery videos that you've seen, then please consider checking out the playlist that I've created with his previous weeks and days. I've created a playlist and I'll link that below. And with all that being said, let's get right into Scott's day 10.
So I missed day 10 yesterday. I had the busiest day ever. And I actually slept okay last night for the first time. Fell asleep at about 10:30, woke up at about 7:30. I actually had a decent night's sleep. So hopefully I've turned the corner now. I'm back in London from Manchester, so this is where the real challenge is for me, because I'm going to be back in London where it's all very easily accessible for me, and a lot of my friends that I chill with around here either smoke or take other substances that I'm trying to avoid at the moment. So I think I'm back here till Wednesday or Thursday next week, because I've got a few training things to do for work. So big test over the next sort of 4 or 5 days. Just starting to turn the corner. The cravings are getting less and less. Like I said, sleep patterns returning back to normal. So I just got to stay strong next couple of days till I go back up to Manchester. I mean, I'm surprised at how easy I found it in Manchester. I suppose it's because it wasn't there and there was no temptation. But being up there on my own weren't really so easy. So if I can do it there, you know what I mean, where I'm lonely. Because to be honest, most of the time when I do smoke, it's because I'm on my own, and it's a lot easier sitting there high on your own than it is sitting there sober on your own. To be perfectly honest with you. So that's what I'm doing, just keeping myself busy, keeping myself active, keeping myself out of temptation's way. Keep it going.
Day 10 there, Scott shared with us that he finally managed to get a good night's sleep. Sleep was a big issue right from the start for Scott, because obviously it's easier to have a smoke marijuana before bed, and then that helps to relax you and ease you into your sleep. So right from the beginning, that's been a big issue for him, but he's been persisting and staying focused on his goal. And yeah, like he said there, day 10 he had a full night's sleep, and it wasn't difficult for him to get off to sleep. And again, he's very honest and open there, and also self-aware, and he's saying he's back in London now, and the friends that he has, again, they're not making the changes that he is, and so they do still partake in cannabis and other drugs, he says. And so he's well aware that when he goes to visit these friends of his, it's going to be there, it's going to be in his face, and he's going to have to be strong to maintain his discipline and to keep moving along with his goal of recovery, of not smoking marijuana. And yeah, like he says, just stay strong and stay focused, and one day at a time, which is all we can do. Sometimes if the mind starts racing 1, 2, 3 days ahead, it becomes overwhelming, and we think, oh, it's just easier to partake in these habits. So one day at a time, he's supremely focused, and let's move on. Day 11.
Okay, so it is day 11 today. It is 11 o'clock at night. I have just pulled up outside my house and I am absolutely shattered. 3 surveys today, drove back from Manchester, sold 2, good day. Went and saw my pal, my last survey was in Luton, one of my best pals, Marbs. What up, Marbs? Went and checked him, had some dinner with him and his lovely missus, nice chilled evening. And I've realised now that I'm scared to stop moving. Like, I mean, I've experienced a few triggers which would normally make me want to smoke. Like, I've had stress from the kids' mums, like a few stressful days at work, not many. But there's a lot of triggers that I haven't encountered yet. So I can't. Although I feel like it's easy now, I've just got to keep busy. I feel like I know what I'm doing. Sleeping patterns starting to regulate. I still haven't had a day where like I'm sitting around with nothing to do. Like they're gonna be the testful days for me, you know. Anyone can do it when you've got 100 million things to do and you're flying around and there's not enough hours in the day. My real challenges are yet to come, and although the first 2 weeks are the hardest, like sleeping wise, it seems whenever I quit, the first 2 weeks are hard to get through, but there's always something that happens, like in that third week, where you just normally, like, well, me personally, I just normally just end up reaching out for it again. So, I mean, I know I've got really busy next week, and me and Lewis are going to do a bit more talking in between now and then as well. So, although I'm feeling like I'm turning a corner, still a long way to go. I mean, I've stopped for months and then ended up smoking it every day again. So, until I've done, I'd say a year, which I've never done before. I've never done a year, I don't think, not a year solid. So if I can get to a year, that's my goal. I won't be boring you with a video every day for a year though, unfortunately. But right, 11 o'clock, I've got to be up at 6, so I'm going to sleep. Day 11.
Day 11 there with Scott, and again he's showing how self-aware he is and how knowledgeable he is of his triggers and what normally happens, you know, because like he said, he's done this process before. And again, we could all learn a lot from that video. By staying busy and having full days, we don't have an option, we don't have time to sit and let the mind fester and wonder. But again, he's saying that a real testful day will be, like he says, a really strong trigger, or if he's got a whole day to himself, because that's what happens. The mind, it'll think about whatever it is that we want to do, whatever habit we're trying to break. For Scott is cannabis. So you're sitting there, you've got a free day, and the mind will touch on it, and then it will go back to it, and then it will associate and continue that thought process until all of a sudden you're calling up someone to go and get someone. So again, this is why we have to be aware of our thoughts and aware of these thought patterns that can quite easily take us down these roads, and all of a sudden we're acting on a thought and going back to the paths that we're trying to avoid. So yeah, Scott's again very self-aware and knows what to expect and knows what to look out for. Now, I really hope that you've benefited, you found some inspiration, found some motivation from that video and those 2 days from Scott's diary to do whatever it is that you need to do in your life. Maybe it's not cannabis or drugs or alcohol or food or whatever. If you watch the first video on addiction, there's numerous things that we have a dependency on, but there's more than likely something that you have that you want to make a change, that you want to alter in your own life. So I hope this video has given you some fire, some fuel to do that for yourself. If you enjoyed the video and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more content like this. And yeah, I really hope you benefited from that, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Bye.